Hello everyone, welcome to QuintEdge. I am Prasha and in today's video we are going to have a discussion about complete roadmap for quants of FRM Part 1. So let us start with the video. So there are some important topics which we will go through in today's video. Let us just see what are those topics. So the first topic will be your core preparation strategy, where I will tell you some tips that how you can strategize your studies. Then second point will be I will tell you all the important topics chapter by chapter. Then third thing will be number of questions which you can expect from each chapter. Then fourth, and this is very important, this is regarding the important calculator functions which you need to know and some tips from my end. So now let us start with the main thing, that is your preparation strategy. So this is very important thing, and that is that don't try to memorize the formulas. Rather than memorizing the formulas firstly, just try to understand the concepts, because when your concepts will be strong, you will automatically know the logic behind the formula. So don't try to memorize the formulas. This is the first thing. Then second thing will be practice as many questions as possible, because when you will practice the questions, automatically your speed and accuracy will improve, because in exam you will have 20 questions and per question you will only have 2.4 minutes. So you need to have that speed so that you can calculate the answer in 2.4 minutes and that answer is also accurate. Then third point is master your calculator. I have already told that knowing the functions of calculator properly is very important. So please remember that whenever you are using your calculator, you know all the functions and you also have the speed of using the calculator. So take care of this thing and take care of this thing. Then after that, now let us discuss about chapter by chapter important topics which they will ask in exam. So the first chapter which you will do will be of probability. Now from probability, they can test you on Bayes theorem. Bayes theorem is very important. Make sure you are doing all the case studies from Bayes theorem. Then conditional probability, portfolio expected return and variance. And from this chapter you can expect around 3 to 4 questions. 3 questions mostly, and all the 3 questions mostly from Bayes. And all of them are case study based. So make sure that you know about Bayes theorem very nicely. Then second topic will be of random variables. So random variables is not a very important chapter, but few topics which you need to know is probability distribution function, cumulative distribution function, then mean calculation, variance calculation. Here they can ask you a practical question. So you can directly calculate it in your calculator only, and then from skewness and kurtosis they can ask you some theoretical thing, but they will not ask you any question on practical note over here, because they don't want from you that you remember the formulas of skewness, kurtosis. It is not important. So from this chapter you can expect around one question, not more than one. Then third topic is of common univariate random variables. So from here, sure there will be one question from either binomial or Poisson distribution. So one question is fixed and that question will be of practical. And then they can even test you on theory from normal, log normal distribution or z-score, even on t-test. So you can expect 2 questions from this chapter also. One will be of binomial and Poisson for sure. Then coming to chapter 4, that is multivariate random variables. So from here they can test you on the topic of correlation, covariance, and very importantly portfolio variance calculations. So this topic is covered in book 1, book 2 and book 4. So for sure you will have one question from this topic in your exam. So just remember that this is very important topic, and from this chapter you can expect around one question. So this is how your first portion look like. Now let us go to another chapters. So this portion will cover around 30 to 35% of your quants. Very important. From hypothesis to, just a minute. So yeah, I will correct it over here only. From hypothesis to regression. Very important. All the three chapters of regression, very important. So coming to sample moments, after multivariate you will do sample moments, and from sample moments they can test you on CLT. Very important topic. Remember all the properties and identities from this topic, and from this chapter they can test you on 2 questions. Then coming to the most critical chapter of quants, that is hypothesis testing. Now this chapter is very interesting but it is little tricky. So understand it very nicely, and from here you can they can test you on topics like null and alternative hypothesis, type 1, type 2 error. For sure one question from this topic will be there. Type 1, type 2 errors. Then p-values, t-test, confidence interval, know when to use z-test, when to use t-test, when to use your n, when to use n minus 1, that population thing. Everything is very important in this chapter, and from this chapter you can expect 2 questions, and one question can be merged with regression also. So keep that in your mind. Now coming to next chapter, that will be of linear regression. So here they can test you on coefficients. Then there is one equation where you need to put the output, where you need to put the inputs and get the output. That is also very important. Then R square, standard error of regression, all these are important topics, and from here they can test you on one question. Mostly one question, because then they will also test you on other topics of regression. Now let us look at other topics. So after linear regression, we will discuss about multiple regression. So in multiple regression, again equation is very important. Here you will have multiple variables. So understand that. Then adjusted R square. One was R square, this is adjusted R square. So know the difference between R square and adjusted R square. Then F test, normal formula, just remember the formula. It's a normal plug and play question. So this they can ask. And you can expect around 2 questions from this chapter also. Then after that, coming to next chapter, that is regression diagnostics. Now from this chapter they will mostly ask you theory, because this is completely a theoretical chapter. So they can test you on topics like heteroscedasticity, multicollinearity, white noise, or homoscedasticity. All these are important topics. Just remember everything very nicely. Everything is important in the chapter of hypothesis and regression, and from here also you can expect around 1 question in your exam. Yeah, now let us go to next chapters. Now these 2 chapters, that is your simulation and bootstrapping and measuring returns, volatility and correlation. These chapters you need to know very nicely. Okay, both are important. Why am I writing it as important? Because both the chapters are very scoring. Here in simulation and bootstrapping, if you know what is Monte Carlo simulation, like if you just know the process and you understand the concept nicely, like here there are some topics of disadvantages and advantages also. So just remember all these things nicely, understand the topic, and they will ask you around 1 question from this topic, and it will be very easy. So just remember everything, understand everything. They will not test you on practical part over here. Mostly they will ask you a theoretical question. Then coming to volatility and correlation. So from here they can test you on topics like Spearman rank correlation, Kendall's GB test. So all these are very important. They can test you on 1 question. Basic formula based. Nothing else. Yeah. Now these 4 chapters, that is two chapters of time series and 2 chapters of machine learning. These are not very important, but you can just keep all these chapters at the end after doing these chapters which I have told you. So from time series, they can test you on stationary, non-stationary time series. These are the important chapters. Not important, but these are the chapters from time series. Then AR models is important. Unit root concept. One more concept is there of dummy variables. That is also important. They ask questions from here. Dummy variable. So from here, max they can ask you 2 questions. Nothing more than that. Then in machine learning and prediction, they will test you mostly on theory, and that also from supervised, unsupervised learning, overfitting models. They can even combine this with regression. But mostly theory question, nothing else. And maximum around 1 or 2 questions can be asked. Nothing more than that. Sometimes they only ask 1 question from machine learning, so that is not important. Now, let us discuss about our calculator functions. What are the important functions for calculator which you need to know? So the first function, especially for quants, will be of second data and second stat. Very important function. You need to know these two functions. Just put your inputs over here, and to get the answer, you just have to press second stat. Very easy. Just know, okay, from if you know these functions, it's very easy for you to calculate mean, variance, correlation, that is R. Everything you can calculate from here only. Then second function is of NCR and NPR. This is basically for binomial and Poisson. So know this also, because of course they are going to give you one question from binomial or Poisson. So this is also very important function. Then memory functions are the most important. Know how to store and how to recall your values. This is also important. And the most important tip for calculator is whenever you are beginning with any new thing, just make sure that you are doing second clear work. Okay, this is very important. Just a minute. Yeah. Just make sure you are doing second clear work, because if you will not do second clear work, what will happen, sometimes you are starting with a new question and you will take the values of previous question and then it will give you a wrong answer. So make sure you are doing second clear work. Now let us go to next slide. So in time management strategy, everyone knows about it. There will be 20 questions. For each question you will have 2.4 minutes. So make sure that whenever you are solving your question, you are solving a question within 2 minutes. You are not taking anything more than that. And if you are taking anything more than 3 minutes for any question, make sure you just leave that question and don't make any random guess for that answer. Try to make a educated guess, okay, because when you will give random guess, it doesn't make sense. So these are few tips from my end. Now just make sure that whenever you are giving your exam, you stay calm and give the exam very nicely. Practice all the questions nicely and just give your exam. All the best to everyone. And if you have any queries, you can comment below in the video. Thank you very much.